Hi there, I'm Dr. Brandy Maynard from giftedresources.com. I help teachers and parents understand the unique needs of gifted learners, and I give you 21st century strategies to help you help your learners reach their infinite potential. I don't know about you, but when I started in gifted education back in 1997, I did not have a clue what I was doing. I was a new teacher at the time, and I was walking into a gifted and talented program about halfway through the year as a long-term sub. I walked into the program and I thought to myself, I have never experienced children like this before. I better sign up for a master's program and go figure out what this whole gifted and talented education thing was all about. So I went and I got my training, and I spent 18 months in the program just trying to figure it all out, figuring out what made these kids tick and how I could be the very best teacher for them. As I went along in my career, I started to notice, boy, I thought I was getting savvier, but these kids are really smart when it comes to technology. They knew things that I hadn't even dreamed of before. They were digital natives. And I was a digital immigrant stepping into their world. So I realized I needed to continue on with my training, and I needed to go deeper into what were some of these technology tools that they were using, and how could I, as a gifted educator, really be the very best teacher for them to bring forward the pedagogy that I knew that I needed to use with them, but to also bring in the tools, the gadgets, the applications that they loved using in their environment. So it was a marriage between those two things, two separate silos, if you will. Best practice in gifted education and the newest 21st century technology that these students were using. It was a beautiful marriage, and what I'm here to do with you today is to share with you one of those tools. I like to tell teachers not to hang your hat on one specific tool. The tool I'm sharing today is called IPiccy, and you can find it at IPiccy.com. IPiccy.com. There are many different photo editors out there. This is not the only one. But the best practices I share with you today in using IPiccy can be transferred over to any online photo editor that you find out there on the web today. They're all very similar. They just have different entry points and different types of special magic that they can create. But today I'm going to show you what's inside IPiccy, and then at the end of the session, I will share with you what I found in my research are the disciplines of effective gifted teachers in a technology-rich environment. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Once you're inside at IPiccy, you will go ahead and begin by uploading a photo. So the first screen that you come to says Start Editing. We've already passed that screen. There's no login required. I pressed Start Editing, and now it's asking me to upload a photo. I have some photos in my history here that I've used for past projects. Today I'm going to share with you a picture of Willy Wonka and Charlie Bucket, and we're going to take these two book characters and we are going to compare and contrast them. So what I'll do is I will select on my Willy Wonka and Charlie Bucket picture, double click, and it will open up within IPiccy. Before we go any further, I'd like to share with you what the final project is going to look like. Today I'm going to show you how to create this graphic organizer. So we have two circles. We have the circle around Willy Wonka, the circle around Charlie Bucket. I've added some text that's true to Willy Wonka on the left-hand side, true to Charlie Bucket on the right-hand side, and then of course in the middle, the traits that are true to both Willy Wonka and Charlie Bucket. I'm going to show you how to create a graphic organizer just like this within IPiccy that you can use for anything. You can compare and contrast book characters, rocks and minerals, two vocabulary words, two completely different ideas that your students can then find the likenesses between them, comparing and contrasting. All right, let's take a look at what this would look like. We begin with a blank picture. The first thing that we need to do with this blank picture is to add a shape. And the shape that we're going to add today is a circle. Let me show you how to do that. You'll notice there are different tools across the top of the dashboard. Got a camera tool, and that will show you some basic things that you can do with the picture, like rotate and flip it, and crop it, sharpen it, add some different colors. The next tool is our magic wand. This will give us, again, some basic things that we can do, like we can change the colors to black and white. We can color boost the photo. We can go into some vintage things here, like making it more purple with the Michelle option. Or we can go down and maybe soften the picture just a little bit. There are all sorts of different things that we can do artistically to change the picture. The next area is some different things that we can do with the picture itself. So if the skin needs some fixes, we can do that. If the eyes perhaps have red eye, we can make those kinds of changes. If we wanted to whiten Charlie's teeth a little bit, we could do that here. All sorts of things that we can do to fix the picture. We're actually going to be in this section, and this is the layers. In the layers section, there are several things that we can do. We can add another photo. We can layer it on top. We can add a sticker to the picture. There are all sorts of different stickers that we can choose from here on the left-hand side. We can add text to the picture. That's what we're definitely going to be doing today. And then we can also add shapes to the picture. And that is another thing that we're going to be doing today. I'm going to start with the shape template. You'll notice that the page is black here. Once you're in the shape area, you'll go over to the shape template, and we're going to choose circle. So once I have a circle here, looks like, oh, it's about the right size that I need it to be. May need to make it a little bit larger, and I can do that just by expanding it over here by making it larger or smaller. I'm going to make it just a little bit larger here, and then I'm going to press done. Once I do that, you'll notice I have a small little circle here. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to take that circle, the upper left-hand corner, and I'm going to drag it across so I can create a compare and contrast graphic organizer. Now, you'll notice we have the midsection, the midline right here. I want it to be just a little bit right in the middle there, and I want to create a circle. Now, you'll notice I really can't see through this circle. Very easy to fix. You're going to go to the fade button, and I like to do it just about 51%. So I can still see Willy Wonka's face, but I can also see the blue circle that will be the compare and contrast circle for this project. Once I'm finished, I'll go ahead and press done, and there's my information. I need to do exactly the same thing again so I can create a second circle around Charlie Bucket. If you'll remember, I went to the merge layers. I'm going to go to shape. I'm going to go up to the shapes template and choose circle. I'd like to make it just a little bit larger. Know that I'll be able to adapt it when I get to the other page. And then I simply press done. Here's my small circle for Charlie Bucket. I'm going to bring this one to the right-hand side. I'm going to pull it down and drag it so that I'm creating a circle just about the same size. It's going to create some overlap between the two. I'm going to move it down just a smidge. I'm going to go up to the fade button and move it over to 51. And then I'm going to press done. Once I've done that, I will have my compare and contrast graphic organizer ready to go and ready to add text. Here we go. Now is the fun part. Remember, I've got my dashboard up here. I'm simply going to go to the layer because that's where the text is, and I'm going to press text. So you'll notice here that we have some text right in the middle of the section here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the left-hand side. This is where I add and edit my text. So one thing that I'm going to put in here is the word father figure, because we know that Willy Wonka is like a father figure to Charlie. I'm going to move father figure over here to Willy Wonka's side, and then I'm going to choose my own font that I want to use. There's all sorts of different fonts. So once I've decided which font I want to use, I can go ahead and look at them and see which one I like the best. I think I'm going to use something that's pretty easy to read, but kind of fun. I might use this Male Ray stuff. I kind of like that. So I go ahead and I choose a font. If I want to change the color, I can do that here as well. Click the color button. Here's the color area that I want to use. Go over to the right-hand side, and I get my color, and I think I'm going to go ahead and move it to a dark, deep red. So once I've done that, I've got father figure, and I have the information right here on Willy Wonka's hat. If I'd like to add more text, I simply press text again, and I'm going to add a few more words. Charlie is rather poor, so I'm going to go ahead and write the word poor. I'm going to go over to my colors here. I'm going to choose a deep red. Perhaps I'd want to choose a different color here just because I want to compare and contrast. So maybe I'd use a green, for instance. And then I will go down and I'll choose a font. I'm going to choose Carter in this case. And then I'm going to drag this poor over to Charlie's side. And then I continue on adding different words to Willy Wonka and Charlie and making sure that I add words to the middle. So one of the words that I'm going to put into the middle, just to show you how this is integrity. Both Charlie and Willy Wonka show integrity in the book. And then I'm going to choose a color. In this case, I'll choose blue. And it looks like I may have typed I did. I typed over the last one. Good lesson. Make sure that you're on a different part of the page in order to make sure that you type a word that's going to show up in another spot on your graphic organizer. So I'm going to go ahead and pull integrity down, and then I'm going to click on a different spot. I'm going to go back up to Charlie's side, add some text, and I'm going to put poor on the side, and I'm going to change that to Charlie's color of green, and then I'm going to drag it up to the right-hand side. Just like this. And I'll continue working on this graphic organizer, adding words to Willy Wonka's side, Charlie's side, and then things that they have in common. And there we have it. We have our words on the screen. The green words are describing Charlie Bucket. The red words are describing Willy Wonka. And the words in the middle are describing both of them. I do want to share with you one additional point that you can do. What I want to do is I want to go to text again. And then I want to add in one more word that describes both Willy Wonka and Charlie. And I think the word that describes both of them very, very well is selfless. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change that word again to blue, so because it's depicting both of them, so I'm changing it to blue. But I want to add another element to this. What I want to show you is I want to show you how to make the word larger. You'll notice here on the size, I can drag it to the right, and that'll make it larger. And this is also showing me that selfless is a more important word, perhaps, than some of the others. So if you want to add it so it's a larger word, perhaps that might mean to your students or to you as a teacher that that's a more important word. Perhaps if it's something that's not as important, let's choose this word poor, I might go over to fade, and I might just fade the word out a little bit. So I could fade it out, and I could make it a little bit smaller if maybe it's not as important in the story. So that's just one more thing that you can do to add to your graphic organizer, comparing and contrasting Willy Wonka and Charlie Bucket. Once you're finished, you'll merely press the save across the top, and it's going to ask you if you'd like to merge the layers, which means do you want the layers to be on top of one another? Yes, you do. I'm going to put in Charlie and Willy version 2 because I've already saved one similar to this, and then I'm going to easily and quickly just save the photo into my IPiccy file and press save. Once I do that, I can pull it up and I'm ready to go. If I'd like to share this with somebody, I can do that by sharing it to the Facebook page or to Twitter. I can email it to somebody, or I can post it up to a social network like Edmodo. Thank you so much for your time and attention today. I do want to point out two things. I would like it if all of you would go ahead and go to giftedresources.com. I'm going to go ahead and type it in here and sign up for our newsletter. I share all of these tips and tricks in our newsletter every Thursday. It's very simple to sign up. You just put in your email, your name, and then let us know if you're an educator, administrator, parent, student, or other. And we'll make sure that these tips are delivered directly to your inbox each and every Thursday. We also have a Facebook page. The link is at the top. When you're on our Facebook page, it looks something like this within Facebook, and we have several hundred people that are sharing some different types of ideas and support and all sorts of different tips and tricks with you. So please sign up for our Facebook page and become part of the community that we're creating here. You take care. Our Facebook page is facebook.com/ /21 gifted resources. Thank you so much. This is Dr. Brandy Maynard from giftedresources.com. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye for now.